I never asked for a stepmother. My mother passed away when I was 10, leaving just me and my dad. We had a bond that was unshakable, or so I thought. When Dad met Veronica, everything changed. She was beautiful, charming in public, but behind closed doors, she looked at me like I was the gum stuck to the bottom of her designer heels. At first, I thought I was imagining it. The cold glances, the small snide remarks disguised as jokes. But then it became clearer. If Dad wasn't around, she ignored me completely, acting as if I were nothing more than an unwanted guest in my own home. Over the years, she worked her way deeper into my dad's life, and I faded further into the background. Dad, blinded by love, never saw it. I tried to tell myself it didn't matter, that I didn't need her approval. But deep down, it hurt. No matter what I did, good grades, sports, being helpful, Veronica never saw me as anything other than an inconvenience. Then came my dad's birthday. And that night, she made sure I knew exactly what she thought of me. Dad's birthday party was a big event. Veronica had gone all out, catering, music, decorations. She wanted it to be grand, a showcase of her social status. The house was filled with guests, Dad's colleagues, her friends, even distant relatives I barely knew. I arrived dressed in my best. I wanted to make Dad proud. As I walked towards the dining table, I noticed something odd. Place cards were arranged for each guest. Names written in elegant cursive on white cards with gold trim. Then I saw mine. It wasn't my name. It read, "The Disappointment." A sickening feeling twisted in my stomach. My hands trembled as I picked it up. Laughter erupted from Veronica's little circle of friends at the far end of the room. My stepmother caught my eye, a smirk playing on her lips before she turned away, whispering something that made them giggle even harder. My vision blurred with humiliation. My mind raced. Did Dad see this? Would he laugh too? I couldn't just sit down and pretend it was fine. I turned to walk away when I heard a voice behind me. "What's wrong, sweetheart? Not happy with your label?" Veronica's voice dripped with mock sympathy. I clenched my fists. She wanted me to react, to make a scene so she could play the victim. I wouldn't give her the satisfaction. Not yet. I swallowed the lump in my throat and forced a smile. "You misspelled, greatest achievement." Her smirk faltered, just for a second. I took my seat, lifting my chin, but inside, I was screaming. The night dragged on, every moment suffocating. Dad was busy entertaining guests, unaware of the insult sitting in front of me. Finally, when dinner was served, he noticed. "What's this?" he asked, picking up my place card. Silence. Eyes turned toward us. Veronica tensed. "Just a little joke, darling. Lighten up." I saw something flicker in my dad's expression, confusion, then something deeper. His gaze shifted between me and Veronica. He'd always ignored the tension between us, always assuming we'd work it out. But this time, it was written in ink, in front of everyone. "I don't find this funny," Dad said, his voice low. Veronica's face hardened. "Oh, come on, she's being dramatic." I stood. "Am I?" "Because I'm tired, Dad. Tired of being treated like I don't belong in my own home. Tired of being the disappointment in her eyes." A hush fell over the room. Dad looked at me, then at her. "Is this how you've been treating my child?" Veronica scoffed. "She's oversensitive. You always coddle her." But for the first time, my father saw it. Saw me. Dad straightened. "You owe my daughter an apology." Veronica's eyes widened. "Are you seriously taking her side over a stupid joke?" Dad's voice was firm. "Yes. Because she's my daughter. And I should have defended her a long time ago." The room was silent. The balance of power shifted. Veronica's carefully built image cracked as guests exchanged looks. Some awkwardly sipped their drinks, others muttered to themselves. She tried to laugh it off, but the damage was done. People saw her for what she was. And for the first time in years, I felt something other than hurt. I felt vindicated. Veronica stormed into the kitchen, furious. Dad followed. I stayed behind, unsure whether to intervene. But then I heard it, the argument I had waited years for. "You embarrassed me in front of everyone," she hissed. Dad's response was calm but cold. "No, Veronica. You embarrassed yourself." She tried to defend herself, but Dad wasn't having it. "You've been cruel to my daughter for too long." I ignored it, hoping it would change. But I won't anymore. I leaned against the wall, heart pounding. For the first time, Dad had chosen me. The next morning, Veronica barely spoke a word to me. But I could see it in her eyes, anger, resentment. I knew this wasn't over. She started playing the victim to Dad, claiming I was trying to drive them apart. But Dad didn't buy it. For weeks, the tension built. And then, something happened that changed everything. One night, I overheard her on the phone. "If he doesn't choose me over that brat, I swear I'll leave." My heart raced. Would Dad let her go? Or would he cling to her, at my expense? The next morning, Dad sat me down. "I heard what she said," he admitted. "And?" I asked, bracing myself. He exhaled. "I'm not losing my child." Within a month, Veronica was gone. Dad filed for divorce. It wasn't just me, he had seen how manipulative she was in other aspects of his life too. And for the first time in years, the house felt like home again. Dad and I spent more time together. We mended what had been broken. And I finally felt wanted. I wasn't a disappointment. I never was. And now, I had a future where I would never let anyone treat me that way again. Veronica left our lives for good. My dad and I rebuilt our relationship, stronger than before. He promised he would never let anyone come between us again. For the first time in years, our home was truly ours. I went on to succeed in ways Veronica never expected. I built a life where I was respected and valued, proving that no one had the right to label me anything but strong, capable, and worthy of love. As for Veronica, I heard she tried to weasel her way into another rich man's life. But karma has a way of catching up with people like her. And me. I had finally won. What do you think about this story? Have you ever faced a situation like this? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping tales. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.